you?
Hey, I just got a big promotion and I'm moving my family out to the Dallas area. What's it like out there?
There's a lot of people moving here. We're full, actually. You should stay in LA.
Nope, I already bought a big fancy house. I can't believe how cheap the homes are in the Dallas area. You can buy 2 homes there for what I sold my home for here in LA. Huh, not a very friendly welcome. Yeah, we're moving on up to reside in a deluxe location nearby. Yeah, we're moving on up to the new side. We finally got a reason to say bye. Are you sick of where you live? The traffic, the crime, the economy, the weather? Well, if you're like many Americans, then it's probably time to consider a big move. An upgrade, if you will. 10% of people moved last year, you know. That's actually lower. Way back in the 60s, about 20% of us moved every year. Sometimes it's for a job or because we changed our family situation. But about half of us move because we want new, better, or more affordable housing. We're moving on up, as they say. And we're moving from certain areas to certain areas in well-defined patterns. We'll talk about why, and from where, and of course where to in this video. So if you're one of the 35 million people who will move this year, hopefully this will be helpful. Or if you're near one of the more popular moving destinations we're going to talk about, well then you're going to have a lot more company soon. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's the truth. Let's begin, shall we? Colorado's quickly become a destination for all the cool kids. There's a place called Castle Rock, and it's a Denver suburb. I've never heard of it, but it makes sense because Denver's growing so fast. And Douglas County, where Castle Rock is, has almost doubled since the turn of the century. Castle Rock is just about 20 or 30 minutes south of Denver on I-25. Beautiful picture here, very lovely. People make about 150 grand a year here, and homes cost about 450 grand. Now, building cities like this so quickly can be kind of hard to nail. Everything from roads to utilities and schools needs to be done just right. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I remember hearing about a Charlotte suburb that grew so fast, they stopped all homes and businesses from being built. They kind of had to. And as you can see here, getting into Denver from Castle Rock takes 45 minutes now. So enjoy it while it lasts, Castle Rock people. Your home values are going up though, so that's cool. Our next stop is a place in the Midwest. Why is that so weird? Because Ankeny, Iowa is the only city on this list that's not in the West or in the South. In case you didn't know, people are leaving the Midwest more than moving to it. Of all the large cities with the largest population declines, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Tulsa, Albuquerque, Memphis, 3 are in the Midwest. Why, you ask? Mainly, people are sick of cold weather and shitty jobs. 7 people a day, on average, are moving to Little Ankeny, which is a Des Moines suburb, which is also growing fast itself. The main draw here to the capital of Iowa is that a bunch of companies are hiring and housing's cheap. At least that's why most of the younger people are moving here. Of course, more mature movers take into account safety and good schools, both of which are part of the draw. They're just sick of the drama back home. The growth of this cute little Midwest town has meant developers are buying up corn and bean fields all over the place to build all the neighborhoods, which I am personally against because corn makes cereal. We can't whack down all the corn, can we? Okay, so we come to Texas for the first time. This won't be the last time. There's actually 2 Dallas suburbs in the top 10 currently. McKinney's only about 30 miles from downtown Dallas, but look at this mess. And it's probably getting worse every day. The McKinney area is the 3rd highest in job growth in the USA. 10,000 people moved here just last year alone. That's crazy. Undoubtedly, many of them are California refugees. Everybody wants to move to Texas. This state has added more homes than anywhere else in the country. 178,000 new homes were built here last year. But I wonder if people in McKinney are sick of the traffic and the growth and whatnot. Back out west we go to South Jordan, a well-to-do community that's about 15 miles south of Salt Lake City. Like Texas, everybody wants to live in Utah too. The state of Utah saw the biggest percentage gain in new home construction. The state's housing supply went up by more than 2% last year. That's a lot. It does make sense that people are moving west. if you look at our country at night, you can see all the places where we live now, and there's a lot of room to grow in this part of the country, especially in Utah. Now, we briefly mentioned that people are moving west and south, and those migration patterns show Americans are moving from the Northeast, in particular from states here and from the upper Midwest, places like here. And we're moving to areas here, particularly, mostly. Here's one example from Syracuse, New York, which has now become a rundown, beat-up, cold place that people are just sick of living in. They're moving in places like this. Now, there's some great people in Syracuse, but you can't blame them for moving, can you? Remember how earlier I mentioned Americans don't move as often anymore? Well, here's an interesting chart. Orange means now, blue is 15 years ago. You can see that there's a big spike when we go off to college, and then people are still moving at a fairly decent rate until around the age of 40, and then we kind of stop moving around so much. By the time we're 60, odds are we're not really going anywhere, except heaven, if we were good. We're way out west now in the Las Vegas boonies. This is Enterprise, which isn't even officially a city or a town. It's a big, somewhat wealthy-ish place outside of Las Vegas. The population here is 145,000. 20 years ago, there were less than 15,000 people here. At one point, Enterprise has to become a real city. Nevada's just blowing up in general. Henderson, Vegas, Reno, Sparks, Spring Valley, Paradise. Everybody wants to move to Nevada right now.
Nevada gives me the creeps. Let's move on to the next city.
That's not nice, Mappy. I'm just getting started on number 6.
Move on to the next city, I said.
Whatever. We're just trying to do an educational video that shows everybody where people are moving so that... Okay. Jeez, Mappy. Whoa. Sorry. Dang. Next up, Cary, North Carolina. Now, if you're a fan of the show, you know that's maybe 5 minutes from my house. Now, it wouldn't be fair for me to talk about Cary without visiting it, right? So I packed up everything I own and hopped in the Jeep and went to investigate. Is Cary really growing that fast? Now, Cary's a Raleigh suburb, and this whole area is exploding in population. There's lots of jobs here and lots of room to spread out, and the weather's not too bad either. And as you can see, traffic isn't so bad here, huh? Okay, so this is crazy. Yesterday, this neighborhood looked like this. And look at this. This is a day later. This is how fast Cary is growing. Like, I am not kidding. These homes were not here yesterday. Lots of places I went into were pretty empty. Cine Bistro. Nobody's here. Okay, there's nobody here. That's good. There's nobody here. This place is empty. The local supermarket chain was pretty empty, not showing signs of major population growth. With the coronavirus in this country, I wouldn't eat at this Cary hot bar. Starbucks was kind of empty. Now, while some locations look like they exist in sleepy towns, some of the places we visited were packed. Look at this line. I mean, out the door. And the Chick-fil-A parking lot is just packed. Oh my God. There's literally a line just to drop off people who are too overweight to walk.
What are you looking at?
Hey, it seems like there's a lot more people moving to Cary, huh?
Yes.
Do you like that, or do you wish there was less people?
We like that.
Yeah? You like all the traffic and all the people that have moved here?
Yes, sir.
Do you have dog treats?
Yes.
May I have a dog treat?
I'm sorry?
May I have a dog treat?
No.
Okay, so overall, is Cary more crowded? Mm-hmm. Is it that big a deal? I don't know, a lot of people don't think so. All right, so that's Cary, North Carolina. Don't say I didn't do my part to show it to you. We're going to move on to a region that everybody's talking about, Idaho. and specifically the Boise suburb of Meridian. Now, Idaho in general is a real boom town, as having seen a 12% uptick in job growth. But Meridian's like, that's nothing, Idaho. Over the last 5 years, Meridian has seen a 34% growth in jobs. What the? That's 11,000 new jobs for this once podunk part of this once overlooked state. It's retail, construction, hotels, finance, insurance, potato farmers. No, that's not fair. It's probably true though. This is the place to be for people who work in Boise. But what's there to do for fun? Probably just drink. But you'll be safe getting back to your moderately priced home after you've had too many. Back to Texas we go as we come to Frisco, another Dallas suburb. This place has been booming for years and years. It's simply a really expensive place with awesome schools and where mom's a teacher and dad's a businessman/football coach. Frisco has had the highest job growth in America for a long time, and 11,000 people moved here last year, many for those great jobs. In 2005, there were only 2 high schools here, but now there's 10 high schools here. They literally can't build homes fast enough in Frisco. But all that great shopping, all those amazing schools, and the bragging rights come at a cost. Look at how densely packed these houses are to one another. Like there's no yard at all. Some people like it, I guess. But is that where we're at now? We want to live somewhere so badly that we'll live in a little box like that? I don't get it. Not too far away is the smallish, but not so smallish anymore, city of New Braunfels, which is sort of like a mini Frisco, but instead of outside of Dallas, it's outside of San Antonio. This city just exploded last year and added 21,000 people in the last decade. Dang. So why is everybody moving to Texas? Well, many feel pushed away from liberal strongholds like California and New York and want a cheaper place to live that has good values and a great economy. And not too bad weather. That's pretty much most of it. Okay, so hopefully we can get done with our last city before Mappy pops a cappy. Our fastest growing city in America is Buckeye, a Phoenix suburb, which has grown by 8.5% in the last year. Not surprising considering that Phoenix has added 25,000 people in the last 12 months alone. That's the most in America. And Phoenix just passed Philadelphia and is now the 5th biggest city in the US. That's just crazy. Who wants to live in Phoenix so badly, you ask? Well, if you could buy a big old home somewhere where it doesn't snow and still have money left over, would you? Traffic isn't bad. There's tons of sunshine, lots of jobs, it's new, it's well lit, always growing. And if you're going to move to the Phoenix area, you probably want to live in the best part, and Buckeye is the best place to be. Get out here now, fella, because this place is going to be all California refugees in 10 years. And no, I'm not a Phoenix realtor. Okay, so it's a clean sweep, everyone. Every single fastest growing city is a wealthy, clean, and modern suburb of a booming metro area. Is this going to be a long-term pattern? Are we going to continue to leave dying cities and start anew in new cities with hope and excitement? The people who move to these suburbs, to cities with bright futures, well, they get to enjoy a cheaper cost of living, less traffic, time with the kids, and lower crime. That is until these places are too big themselves and all of these things become problems here. That's okay. They'll just move away again. So a lot of times we try to give a positive end to the videos and tell people to get involved or volunteer. I do think that one thing that everybody should probably do is consider going down to the Humane Society and adopting a dog or a cat, or just spending time with them, volunteering, maybe feeding them and walking them. There's a lot of pets, there's a lot of animals that have been abandoned that could use some love, and there's a lot of us that could probably open up our hearts to an abandoned animal too. So think about going down to an animal shelter and maybe falling in love with a new dog or cat. Sick of all of the traffic, worried that I'm gonna get killed. Took a whole lot of trying just to pay all those bills. Now we're going to a city where I can get a fresh new start. As long as I live, I ain't going back, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we're moving on up to the new side, to a deluxe location nearby. Yeah, we're moving on up to the new side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Yeah. Hey guys, if you learned something new or you just like this video, make sure to like it. And if you really like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get all of our videos about what it's like to live in different places in America. Peace.